I am at a disadvantage here because I'm talking about two words which are in in the title of this session, accountability and sustainability, that I'm confused about. And maybe that's a place I should go. I should talk about what it is about the words sustainability and accountability that confuse me. Let's start with the word sustainability. It's a big word right now. Businesses use it, consultants use it, accountants have started using it, but I'm still not sure what it means. Let me back up. When you think about sustainability, the first thing you need to clarify is sustainable what? And I'll give you the three variants, the three levels at which you can talk about sustainability. There's a sustainable planet, which we all care about. There's only one planet, we're stuck on it. There are sustainable products, products that last a long time, presumably even forever, and sustainable companies. The reason we need specificity on those is you can build sustainability on one dimension while destroying it on another one. Let me give you a very simple example. Let's assume Gillette was able to come up with a razor blade that could last forever. Sustainable product, right? Perhaps even contributing to a sustainable planet. But Gillette as a company would not exist anymore. If you don't specify what you mean by sustainability, I'm not sure what you will be held accountable for. Now, to talk about why sustainability has become the buzzword of the moment, let's face it. For many people who've used ESG as their way of entering businesses and getting them to be more, behave like better citizens, ESG has become a toxic word and sustainability has become its replacement. That's not a good reason for using sustainability, but it's in fact the biggest reason. And like ESG, sustainability has been left fuzzy. It's been left undefined because it serves the interests of some who sell sustainability and leave it unfocused. That way, it can be amorphous. It can be adapted, modified to fit whatever definition you give of sustainability. So I think if we're going to talk about sustainability, we need to start to become specific about which version of sustainability are we talking about, planet, product, or company. And there is no cop-out where you say, why can't we be all three? Because unless you specify which version, I can't choose between them when they become alternatives. Let's talk about accountability. Accountability to whom? Presumably, if sustainability is being pushed on publicly traded companies or on businesses, they need to be accountable to their owners. And let's be old-fashioned about it. The owners of publicly traded companies are their shareholders. Is that the version of accountability we're talking about? Are we talking about a different version of accountability? Accountability not to investors who invest in the company or investors generically, but accountability to society and governments. If that is the version we're talking about, it could be a very different version of accountability, and what you disclose can be different. Maybe it's accountability to consumers. However, people argue that businesses need to disclose whether they're building a sustainable planet because their customers care. Is that the version we're talking about? Again, without specifying accountability to which of these groups, I'm not sure what I'm going to ask you to disclose. In fact, I will argue that one reason ESG was more talk than walk was over the last 15 years, we've allowed that definition of who ESG was designed to inform to be left fuzzy. Is it investors? Is it consumers? Is it the government? Is it society? So as you can see, I'm starting from a position of uncertainty about which version of sustainability we're defending and which group we're being accountable to. Let's say we can decide that we choose a version of sustainability, sustainable planet. That's what we're focused on. And we decide it's investors that we're trying to disclose information to so they can make better choices. What should we disclose? Again, I'm going to bring my skeptical side to the discussion. I've watched disclosures explode for companies over the last 4 decades. One of the few benefits of being old is you remember the way disclosures used to be. In a post I wrote a couple of years ago, I compared the prospectus that Apple filed in 1981 when they went public to the Airbnb prospectus in 2020. And they were not outliers, they were typical of the period. The Apple prospectus was 69 pages long. The Airbnb prospectus was 400 pages long. And then I put out a challenge. I said, read both prospectuses and tell me which one was more informative. The answer is actually surprising. The Apple prospectus was more informative for investors than the Airbnb prospectus. I call it disclosure diarrhea. Essentially, we've assumed that asking companies to disclose what they're doing, we do it with the best of intentions. Disclose what you're doing on sustainability is going to make this a better word. I beg to disagree. I actually think of disclosures as analogous to confessions to an errant Catholic. My wife is Catholic. I've accompanied her to church for 4 decades. And one of the things that always struck me about confession was the ease with which you could wipe out your sins. And if you're a true believer, you don't sin again. But if you're an errant Catholic, you confess so you can sin more. My worry with disclosures in the context of sustainability is they will take on the same role. Companies will disclose everything they're doing to make the world a less sustainable place, not because they don't want to do it again, but because they believe that confessing gives them the chance to do it again. I'm not sure that requiring companies to disclose what they're doing, even with the definition of sustainability nailed down and the accountability of being investors, is going to accomplish what we think it will. I think we're going to end up with hundreds of pages of disclosure about how companies are making the world a sustainable place. And then we're going to look at the world and we're saying, where is this all playing out? I wrote a piece on fossil fuels that I think can bring home exactly what I mean here. I talked about, impact investing, another version of a buzzword that got caught on. We want to make an impact, change the way. And again, impacting what was left unspecified. And I talked about the title of the piece was, where's the impact in impact investing? I talked about the trillions of dollars, not billions, that have been invested in impact investing, much of it directed at climate change. And I said, if we're investing these trillions, where's the beef? Where is the evidence that all of this investing is making a difference? You know that in 2008, just as in 1992, we got about 83% of our energy from fossil fuels. In 2023, 15 years after impact investing was unleashed in its full form and trillions of dollars was invested, we still got 83% of our energy from fossil fuels. And the answer I got was, as long as you leave impact investing fuzzy, you're going to get people claiming to do impact investing, and their only measure of success is how much money they're spending, not how much of a change they're making. So as a skeptic, if you're a true believer in accountability for a sustainable world, here's my suggestion. First, let's get specific about the definition of sustainability. What is it that we're trying to sustain? Company, product, the planet. Second, let's get specific about accountability to whom. If we're arguing that disclosures are not just to investors, but to consumers and to society, we're going to lose our way. We have to be specific about disclosure to whom. And I'm okay with whatever definitions we get with sustainability and accountability. And third, let's make the disclosures focused. Less is more. A focused disclosure where companies disclose only those dimensions of sustainability where they make a difference will have much more impact than requiring every company to disclose everything. If we can do that, I do think we can reach our shared objective. And I think we can all share the objective of a more sustainable planet. But it has to be done in a different way than we've approached this entire problem for much of the last few decades. I hope you find the rest of the session much more uplifting than this particular segment. But it is what I feel about sustainability and accountability, and I thought I'd get it off my chest.